Welcome to I Said What I Said. I'm Brad Wakai. That's Tyson Gentri. Tyson, we always say this, the NFL never sleeps. And we got the combine around the corner, which is something that we always keep an eye on closely here. So we could have some content coming out from there. If anything catches our eye from that front, we'll definitely be taking notes as we get into NFL draft season. And that is coming up quickly, folks. But the reason we say the NFL never sleeps is because the frickin' Colts come out and say, we want to have an open quarterback competition. After taking Anthony Richardson in the first round and saying this is the future of our franchise. So we're going to break this down. Tyson, this caught my eye. This is something interesting. I'm going to throw it to you. What do you think's going on here?
Yeah, you're hyped about this one. Brad is a longtime Anthony Richardson hater, and he's just ready to bury the poor guy. No, I think that this is like a duh. I think this is something you have to do if you're them. But the question becomes, like, do you want a real one? Do you want a real quarterback competition? Because if you bring in some of these guys, veterans, they're going to win the job in camp. Like that's a very real possibility. And then all of a sudden you already have a locker room mutiny. Like you can't bring in Jameis Winston because I don't know if Anthony Richardson's beating him out over the course of a summer because you do have to practice in order to play. This guy can't stay healthy to save his life. So that's the question. Is it a like? I mean, Andy Dalton and Bryce Young turned into a real one, but is this like a situation where you are really just looking for a McCown type to sit in the quarterback room and teach him the finer points of some of this high-level quarterbacking stuff? Or are you really talking about, hey, let's win 7 games with a different quarterback so then we can all lose our jobs?
Well, that's the interesting thing here, Tyson, because I think on the surface it kind of looks like, hey, we want an open competition. Like, oh, this is somebody from a yet to be determined player. But I'm reading these quotes here. This is from Chris Ballard. It's got to be the right guy to create real competition, he said. We want to create real competition. I think it's good for the team. I think it's good for Anthony. We drafted Anthony high, knowing it was going to take some time, and we knew there was going to be some hiccups along the way. I know we all want a finished product right now. I do, you do, fans do, we all do. But I think as he continues to progress his young career, us adding competition, I think, will help up everyone's game, end quote. Tyson, to me, that says we want to get a guy who can come in and be the starter. Like, we don't think he's the guy. We think we pushed him too soon. We want him to sit on the bench. Now, I could be looking too far into it, but is that not what you're reading out of this?
I mean, this is the time of year, folks, that they're going to sit up here at their press conferences. They're going to say a lot of stuff, and you have to watch the actions to determine if that's real. Because I've heard Chris Ballard sit up at that stand before and say, we're going to go out and get a quarterback. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. And that results in Matt Ryan and Carson Wentz and some of these other also rants that the Colts have grabbed. I mean, we can go to head coaches that they've been through at some of these things when he says we want a winner, and then Jeff Saturday walks in the door and you're like, dude, what is going on? So I think Ballard's got to show me that he's being genuine when he's saying these things. But at the end of the day, I think it'd be good for Anthony Richardson to have somebody in there. I just don't know who it is. Like, I don't think 𝐬𝐮 has the pull around the NFL. Like, if you're Daniel Jones, and the two options on the table are go sit behind Stafford in LA with Sean McVay, or go to the Colts and be in a competition with Anthony Richardson, maybe it sounds good that you could win the starting job, but 𝐬𝐮 had a heck of a year in 2022 with Jalen Hurts, but the Anthony Richardson lack of growth, and he hasn't been on the field enough to really, dive into what has gotten better or worse, besides the things that we know haven't gotten better since he's been a pro. But I don't think 𝐬𝐮 has, like, it's not the same thing as Daboll when he's leaving Josh Allen.
Yeah, Tyson, kind of like last thing that I really caught my eye here. Quote, everything will be on the table, end quote, when it comes to free agency, trades, and the draft. I mean, I'm reading too far into this, because like you said, this is smoke season. This is, okay, we all want to get better. Tyson, I think they're ready to move off Anthony Richardson. Like, I think they know deep down they made a mistake. They thought this was going to be a guy that they could come in. Okay, he's super raw. We'll give him some game reps because that's what he didn't have at Florida. Okay, he's going to show his talent. The guy got benched last year for Joe Flacco, the corpse of. I mean, the guy won comeback player of the year the previous season. It didn't look like the same guy, especially against pressure this time around. He's getting a little older. We all know that. This is the same guy in Anthony Richardson who took himself out of the game because he was tired. Just question marks about the question marks. Now, by all intents and purposes, he's a really nice guy. People like him. That was one of the reasons why he got drafted so high by the Colts. Like a really good personality, good character. But Tyson, you got to be able to play in this league, and that's the question mark. Like you have the big arm. We see the big arm with Richardson. Can he make the everyday throws, the every down throws you need to succeed in this league? So far, that's a no. And you add that on top of injury issues, I think that's a huge problem. Tyson, I'll throw two names out right here. We're gonna go free agency. Why not Sam Darnold? Why not give him a shot there? If we want to go trade, why not do a buy low on a disgruntled Kirk Cousins? Those are two options right there. I mean, seriously, if they want a guy, it could potentially be an upgrade. I know we've had our qualms over Sam Darnold in terms of what we think his true upside is. But I think he's better than Anthony Richardson right now. And same with Kirk Cousins, even off the Achilles. I mean, Tyson, the Colts are in a no-win situation, I think, right now. Am I overreacting to this?
I think the only way that they get Kirk Cousins is if Terry Fontenot can get Anthony Richardson back in the deal, just so he can sit one or the other between him and Michael Penix for eternity. I don't know how that contract, how the trade would work. I'm assuming there'd have to be a lot of stuff done on the back end to make that one happen. That's a ton of money. There's tons of guys I think that are better than Anthony Richardson, and I also think that if they move off of the kid, it's not necessarily fair, because if he goes to Vegas, he's ruined. Like, he might be ruined now, and that's the thing. And all these guys are going to take a shot, but he's not going to get a fair shake if he goes to some of these teams that are QB needy.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on this, man. I'll tell you, like, when I saw that, I clicked on the headline. I started reading into this and starting to read and listen to what Ballard was saying. I'm like, oh, I think they're ready to be done with this experiment.
I am. I don't think he can play, but I don't know. I mean, there's precedent for it, Trey Lance, but they had Brock Purdy. That's the other part, is there's nobody ready to take the mantle. So Ballard is like, him and 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭 could potentially be on the chopping block at the end of the season. So he does need to do something if he wants to keep his job. But he put himself in a horrible no-win situation with this.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be keeping an eye on this for sure. Tyson and I both will. It's NFL Combine season too, so hey, maybe a quarterback pops. Maybe they get aggressive. Something on the back end. We'll see, man. Right? People, that's a name. Do they trick themselves again and go with Tyler Shuck? I mean,
we just spent 15 minutes talking about a guy with a rocket arm just for the NFL to go, hey, we kind of like this Tyler Shuck.
Oh, it's going to be ridiculous. And that's why we'll have you covered, and why you got to stay subscribed here so you don't miss anything that we got going on. We're going to be spontaneous, man. Like, stuff like this, it's like, okay, we got to talk about it. And so that's why I got to say subscribe so don't miss a single thing. Like the show on the way out. If you're watching on YouTube, really helps us out. We do appreciate all the support you guys have given us. And then share it with a friend, share it with an enemy. You guys know how it works. And, Tyson's going to be out of town. And we will come back and hit the ground running with college basketball season as we get the conference tournament underway. And, March Madness right around the corner. We got you covered on that front. So a lot of stuff coming your way. We got you throughout this entire spring season as we get into the summer. We'll talk to you guys when we talk to you. Peace.